Greetings, folks. It's Skiz Fernando welcoming you back to another edition of Pan Asian. And you know, recently I had the pleasure of eating at a local Afghani restaurant called the Helmand, which is a popular restaurant here in Baltimore. And even though I've eaten there before many times and really enjoyed the food, this time I was really struck by all the flavors. And I think the reason behind that was I was there with a big group, so I had a chance to try a lot of the dishes on the menu. And really amazing, clean, good, tasty food. So I thought today on Pan Asian we would make a dish that I had at the Afghani place. It's called Burani Bonjon, and it's basically a spicy braised eggplant with yogurt. Now I was looking through my cookbooks and I managed to find a recipe for it in this fine book here. It's called Afghan Food and Cookery by Helen Sabiri. So I basically took her recipe and I also checked out the internet for a few different recipes and made kind of my own little recipe. And that's what we're going to make today on Pan Asian. So without further delay, let me show you exactly what you're going to need to make this dish. All right? For starters, you're going to need 2 to 3 eggplants, 1/3 cup of olive oil, 1 medium onion sliced, 2 cloves of garlic smashed and minced, 1 to 2 medium tomatoes thinly sliced, 1 green bell pepper sliced into rings, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper powder. I'm actually using a whole teaspoon here because you know I like it hot. Also 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder, salt to taste. And for the sear moss, which is the yogurt sauce, you're going to need 16 ounces of plain Greek yogurt, 2 cloves of garlic smashed and minced, 2 teaspoons of dried mint, the juice of 1 lemon, salt to taste, and finally 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro leaves, roughly chopped, as a garnish. And unlike our usual dishes here on Pan Asian, this dish takes a while to prepare, so let's get right into it. Follow me. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is just cut these eggplants into rounds. Next, I'm going to liberally salt both sides of the eggplant to draw some of the moisture out and also to get rid of some of the bitterness. And I'm just going to let them drain on this cookie rack. And this is the real time-consuming part of the recipe. Once these eggplants are ready to go, the dish is really quick. And we can just set that aside for 30 minutes, and while we're waiting on it, we can deal with the yogurt sauce, which is also called sear moss. And to make the yogurt sauce, we're obviously going to need a bowl. And this is going to be as simple as just combining all our ingredients together and then chilling it in the fridge for an hour. So there's the Greek yogurt. I'm going to add the garlic to that. This is our dried mint. And I'm sure you could use fresh mint too, but dried mint is just easier to have on hand, especially, you know, in the winter. I usually have it out in my garden in the summer, but this is winter mode. And we just give that a good mix. And of course, don't forget the lemon juice and a little bit of salt to taste. We'll just mix that up. Voila, simple as that. And always be sure to taste it. And we're just gonna let this marinate in the fridge for about an hour. And now as we wait for the eggplant, this is a convenient time for me to go check my email. Now after 30 minutes, your next step is to rinse off the salt from the eggplant. And you can fry the eggplant in some oil, but I'm going to take the healthier route and just brush each piece with oil and grill it in the broiler. And because we've got a lot of eggplant, as you can see, this step is going to have to be done in batches. And basically, as you can see, I've taken a foil-lined tray, which I'm placing the eggplant on. And then I'm going to just brush each piece of eggplant with some olive oil. And I'm just going to take the eggplant, put it right into the broiler. And you want to grill each side of the eggplant for roughly about 3 to 5 minutes until it's got a nice brown color to it. And I got the last batch of eggplant, which is just about done. And there it is. The eggplant is ready to work with. And I'm just going to set that here for the moment. I've got a saucepan here in the oven, and I'm going to add a little olive oil too. And once that oil is hot, I'm going to add my sliced onions. And we're just going to saute those onions so they have some color to them. And we'll also add the garlic. Just keep that moving around so the garlic doesn't get burnt. And once the onions are nicely sauteed, we're just going to remove them. To a plate. Just like that. I'm going to add a little more oil to the pan. And then we're going to layer in our eggplant. So I can turn the heat down a little too. So we're going to put a layer of the eggplant, a layer of tomato slices, and a layer of the green chili. Don't forget to sprinkle some of the cayenne pepper, the turmeric, and some salt. And then we're going to do it again. Oh, and the onions. Don't forget the onions. And then we'll put the rest of the ingredients in there as well. Some eggplant. Some tomato. The last of the green pepper. Last of the onions. And the remainder of our spices as well. And I'm just going to finish it with a layer of the eggplant, since that's what we have left. And don't worry if it's not too pretty, because the presentation is all in the plating. All right. And finally, we're just going to add a little bit of water. So this stuff can cook. And then we'll just cover this up and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And here's our dish, which I've taken off the stove top. Wow, that was one of the longer prepping times for Pan Asian, but we're finally done. And we are ready to plate it. I brought the yogurt from out of the fridge, and I've also got the cilantro for garnish. We're going to start off with a bed of yogurt. Place it right on top, like so. Put a little more. And then I'm going to just dollop some eggplant on top. And finally, add some cilantro. And there's your dish right there, folks. It's called Burani Bonjon, spicy braised eggplant with a yogurt sauce. A dish from Afghanistan here on Pan Asian. And I'm just going to add a little white rice right to the plate. And I'm going to go right in. Get a little bit of rice, some of the eggplant, some of the other vegetables, and of course plenty of that yogurt sauce. Wow. So delicious. It's just like nice layers of the yogurt, the green pepper, the tomatoes, the garlic. All these flavors just really work well with each other. And as I said, you could serve this as an appetizer, eat it with some bread, or it could be a main dish if you serve it with rice. But even though this took a long time to make, it was definitely worth the effort, folks. The dish, once again, is called Burani Bonjon. It's a dish from Afghanistan here on Pan Asian. My name is Skiz Fernando, and I will see you next time. Mm.